shipheads, how's it going? Welcome back to Trek Mods. Welcome back to the Excelsior Refit and Upgrades series. This is part 16. This is going on for a while. I'm your cheap engineer, Jody LaForgery, and I got my top of the saucer section here. Done some painting around, trying to do some touch-ups. Now, around my impulse drive section here, just looking at the way that I filed the top. It's not perfect. I can get that a little better. I'm gonna have to repaint this anyways. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give this a little filing, and then I'm gonna take some of this flat plastic here. I've got some little strips, and I'm just gonna build up a little frame around that so that this is a little nicer. I'll fill that in with some putty. I'll repaint that and touch it up, and we should be good to go. I got some more windows drilled in. I was looking at some photos, some references, and I realized that I had forgotten these windows around the edge here, so I got those drilled out. Okay, so I just want to file this edge a little bit, clean it up, get it a little smoother. I'm going to use my fine one here. Maybe I can get this filed out smooth enough that I don't have to build a frame around that. Because if I don't have to, I don't want to. Seems like every time I attempt to get anything done on this, I come up with a new idea or a new aspect of it that I have to do. It's dragging on. I want to get this done so I can move on to my next project. I have an idea to do a retro Galaxy class. So what if they came up with the Galaxy class starship in Kirk's time? Some of my ideas here. I'm just trying to decide whether to have the pylons angled or on a 90-degree angle like so. So I have another 2500 scale model of the Enterprise D, and I'm pretty sure I can convert it into that. I'm going to give it a shot anyways. But before I do, I need to get this done. I don't want to start having multiple projects on the go. I really don't have enough room to even barely do one here. So I got to get this done, get this out of the way, and then I can move on to the next one. Got enough model kits on my shelf to probably last me a year or so, depending on how quickly I can build them. So anyone that's been following along, just so you know, there's more to come in the future. I have all kinds of ideas. Whether or not I can implement them is a different story, but I'll do my best. See, I've got a little bit of an imperfect edge in here. I don't know. I could barely see it close up, so maybe I'll just let it slide. So the only problem I'm having is this edge right here. And I think I can correct that with the file. That looks better. Want a nice smooth line. Having the gray base coat on there really helps me visualize what I'm doing with the file. So kind of bonus that I'm doing this now. I guess I really just couldn't see it good enough initially before I had the paint on to file that correctly. Also probably a lack of patience resulted in that. I think I'm happy with that. A little bit more right here. Alright, looks like I filed in a little more on this corner. Let's try to even it out, I guess. Alright, I think that's going to do it. I don't want to go too deep into there. Got a pretty hard edge right here. I'm just going to soften it up a little. Alright, see what I can do about painting that. One more little spot. Have a bit of a ridge here. It's nice and smooth over there. So I gotta smooth this out. Yeah, I'm gonna mask that. Alright, that's looking pretty good. I need to decide whether I'm going to paint this or I'm going to use the decals that come with the kit. Let's see what's going on with that. Okay, I'm back. I got the tape off. It's looking kind of cool. I only did the top part here for now. I made a phaser strip. I'm thinking of adding a phaser strip, seeing as this is an upgrade of the Excelsior with more modern technology. They might add on a phaser strip. You see the Neo Constitution, the Enterprise G, has phaser strips and phaser turrets on it. But the only thing is, that means I would have to sand this away, repaint all this, mask it off again. And then that just adds more and more time to the video. Unless I just do it without recording it and then show you guys the finished product later. Been doing a lot of things off camera on this, just trying to get it done. I can work a little faster when I'm not really worried about editing and recording and getting good shots of things. It's almost like you press that record button and then start making mistakes. Just trimming this up a bit. I really want to use this. Okay, so I'd like this to be, this is just a flat piece right now. I'd like it to be sort of rounded. I might just have to make another piece. I wonder if I can bend this stuff enough sideways. Okay, that looks promising. Alright, so I didn't use this stuff to make the ring initially because I didn't have a big enough piece of it. But I think if I cut thin strips off of it, I can bend it sort of sideways. So I'm just kind of using the friction from my fingers to warm it up enough to bend it sideways. Could probably go run it under the hot water, but it's building sketchy half the time. You gotta let it run for 10 minutes before you get any hot water. I'm getting there, getting it curved around. Okay, so I should be able to glue that down. I think it's long enough. Well, it'll be as long as it is. Alright, all I gotta do now is figure out a way to file this off around. Maybe I'll find something round and stick it on there. Okay, got it temporarily stuck down to a piece of paper here. Get some black. Alright, I'm going to use this glue just in case this is a terrible disaster. It'll be less of a task to get it off. Get this down in the right spot. Just gonna try to press a little bit at a time. Trying to keep it lined up with those grid lines. Alright, this tiny piece I should be able to get this one on in time. Ah, see? I have to trim that. Gap right there, but I can fill that in. Let's see, so just a little over. Okay, well that's not terrible. I think I can live with that. Looks like a phaser strip. I can do a little touching up here. Got a little glue there. Trim that. That's not bad. I like it. I like it. All right, now I'm gonna make another one for here. So I'm not gonna cut a circle out like I did, because when I was filing it and shaping it, it ended up splitting. So I decided it would have been too thick and bulky anyways. So all this is just the one strip of this bent sideways. I think I can do that again. Try to round over the top before I bend it. Somehow. It'd be nice if I had some kind of square. It's got this ridge. If I stick that down there, I should be able to sand a nice profile on. That's not sticking too good. Let's get out of here. No. 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 I said no. Ah. Yeah. 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 Come here. Okay, that didn't work. Wouldn't stay stuck, so now I got it stuck on this dowel here. Got one side kind of started. This is actually pretty good. I can just turn this to whatever angle I want. Just kind of use the edge of that dowel as a guide. It's keeping it nice and even and flush. Getting there, pretty good. It's looking about the same width as the other one. Just gonna flip it around, work my way back down this side. Alright, let's peel it off of there without breaking it. Without breaking it, please. It's so delicate at this point. There we go. You can see how flexible it is. Okay, got it all peeled off now. So we got a semi-round edge. It'll do. Okay, I'm just gonna bend it by hand like I did with the other one. Okay, initially I had wanted to put it in this trench here, but I want to paint that the dark metallic, and I think this would kind of disappear in there if I did that. Maybe I can get it right along this grid line here. Yeah, I'm just gonna round off those tips. Okay, put my paper down. I'm not gonna stick it down this time. That was kind of detrimental. I ended up with the adhesive sticking on the piece. So I'll just paint this black. Now I know that the phaser strips aren't black. I'm just doing it for simplicity's sake to make it more visible. They're almost black, pretty dark gray, but then if you're making a larger, more detailed model and you get up in there close, they kind of have almost a copper bronzy look to them, sort of like the nacelle chiller grills. I don't believe that's the case on the Excelsior with the chiller grills. Pretty sure they're just plain black. But on some of the other ones, like the Enterprise Refit and the Enterprise D and some of the newer ones, if you look up close, it's not just plain blue. It's sort of brassy gold stripes with blue in between. And that's very hard to replicate on a tiny scale. Okay, so there's one more thing I gotta sort out on this saucer here. Where? Okay, here we go. And that is the crystal. so I've got that. Okay, so I've got two sizes of these crystals. Let's put this one on the tape so it doesn't get lost again. Alright, so this tiny one is going to go on the secondary impulse engine. And this larger one meant for right here. So I think I'm gonna need a larger hole. I'm gonna have to turn this from a mushroom to a little dome like I did with the other one. So at least with this one, it's already a dome. I only have to get rid of that little pin in the center. The other one was a flat half of a sphere. Okay, I'm going to drill that center out. Just going to go in with the tiny one, and then I will ream it out with the file. Alright, here we go. I got the coney one. A little bit more. A little bit more. Is this too big? That's too big. That's too big. One of these is gonna be good, right? Try one of these little guys, but not too little, right? Not too big either. Let's see this one right here. As long as it's smaller than the hole right there. Yes. Just running it backwards. Alright. Perfect. Alright, that looks pretty good. I didn't lose any of that texture. Nice. Alright, got my other phaser strip here. Just gonna put it on one little dab at a time. Okay, looks like I gotta give it a little trim. Where's my trimming stick? Trimmington. Whatever. Stupid. Okay, so we're just right at the edge of that grid line. Alright, leave a little bit of paint there. Fix that up. And we're good to go. That looks pretty cool. Alright guys, I need to take a break. That looks pretty cool. We got phaser strips on the top and bottom. I went ahead and painted a few details there. These little dots around on the sensor dome. Some highlights in there. It's going to actually look kind of cool when it's on there, because we'll get that contrasting light line in between. I was thinking about painting all of this the dark metallic. Then I put this on and it kind of gives you that gives you an idea of that connection. You know what I mean? The seam where this would separate. I know we've never seen the Excelsior separating, but my idea, it does. That's why we have an impulse engine on the secondary hull. Okay, as usual, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Trek Mods. Look out for the next one. Should be up in a few days or a week or so. I just kind of edit these as I go and upload them whenever I got enough time. I know this one's running on because I keep running my mouth. So thanks again for tuning in. See you next time.